If a FedEx delivery guy knocked on my door and then saw my cameras and shot each one of them with a BB gun and I was left with nothing, after winning hundreds of dollars in the lottery, hopefully, this is what I would buy. A text message? So I thought it'd be fun to play. If we were all hundredaires and we had to start over from scratch, one camera... No, here's my list. It's going to be 2 camera bodies from the same company, 3 lenses. One for wide vloggy stuff, one for a little more portrait, and then an ultra wildlife system.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
Right now we're on the Canon R8 with the EF 35mm 1.4. I just filmed a video on the Sony a7S III with the Zeiss 55mm 1.8. And I was thinking, I think I hate 35mm focal length. It's not my thing. And I have 3 of them. It's my most owned focal length. What am I doing here? There's too much in the shot. There's nothing special. So none on my list. So here's what I would do for each company, and then I'll tell you which of the 6 companies I would finally go with in the end. The first one, we would revisit our Fuji Life. I said revisit. I should be arrested. Fuji XS20. Now, I have hundreds of dollars, and why aren't you picking the Fuji XH2S? Because the Fuji XS20 has better 240 frames per second. It doesn't have that weird noise pattern. I don't know why. The XH2S has a stacked sensor, so we're going 2 XS20 bodies. In here, I'm doing 16mm 1.4, of course. Fuji, not the Sigma. Are you seriously thinking I would have said that? You don't know anything. I need a wide for vlogging, exercise videos, and then sometimes we punch it in a notch. So I was thinking, like, what would the vlogging lens be? Fuji doesn't really have anything special, but the 16mm, one of the greatest lenses of our time, and so we could do in here and vlogging, boom, and then I would get the 35mm 1.4. Fuji Classic, not the 33 new modern one that lost all of its marbles. It's like, oh, we're sharper. You're not better at anything else, though. And for wildlife, I think I would pick the 70-300. It's just basic wildlife. You're not getting super reach, but with the Fuji XS20 crops, you're getting okay. You're up near 500, 600 millish in the 240p. It's like, okay, I've had the 100-400. It's kind of big for the results you're getting. Not great, and that zoom ring's kind of stiff. And I think it'd be fun to have a little tiny setup. And that would be a nice little 3 lens system, 2 bodies, one for the wildlife, so all my wildlife settings, and that lens never leaves it, and I could just pick it up and run out the house fast. Whereas in here, I have my 2 lenses that I switch, but it's all vloggy stuff, and then all my settings are set to that. I could be very happy in that Fuji lifestyle. Could you imagine? Nostalgic Negan here. I think I could replicate it. Oh... Who needs Fuji when you have skills, real life skills that do this, an orangey glow? Huh? An alternative to that Fuji life would be a Panty Boy pony lifestyle. I would get 2 G9 2 bodies. Now I could have picked between full frame or micro four thirds, but the G9 2 is better than any full frame camera Panasonic has. Way better slow-mo, all the specs, 300 frames per second we're getting now. The lenses I would choose for Panty Boy. It's a debate, but I would pick the 9mm Leica, of course, 1.7. Now in here, that'd be a bit wide. That's an 18mm. It's not my favorite, but out, I think it'd be superior for vlogging. The Leica 12mm would be nice, but it's heavier. In here, it would be better, but that's the compromise I would make. Leica 9mm. Boom, and then of course the Leica 25mm 1.4 Mark 1. Unbelievably ridiculous that the pop on that, I still have it. I'm waiting for a body to wield it, but I mean, I could use my black magic, but the Voigtlander has surpassed that one. It's way better. The 58mm 1.4 with the speed booster, it's like, okay, Leica useless, but I'm holding hope alive that GH7 comes out or something. Okay, will it? Doubt it. I would pick the 200mm prime, of course, Leica, for wildlife. It sucks. It's almost like 200 or 400mm equiv It's not great. And with the teleconverter, you can't do linear auto manual focus. It's still very sharp though, and it's nice. I don't like the 100 to 400, the stiff zoom. It ain't right. So Penny Boy, ironically, not the best for wildlife, even though it should be with Micro Four Third technology. But you're not. When it comes to OM Sushi, yes, OM Sushi shirts are now available. It's a shark camera. I have one on the way here. I would humor you by getting 2 OM12s. I don't know why, but that's your latest thing, and I have hundreds of dollars, so it doesn't matter. 12mm Tony-2 Olympus lens. I think that's the best thing. I wanted to go with Olympus lenses instead of the Leica. We could have done that, but that's a tiny lens. And it looks amazing for vlogging. Is there pop? I doubt it, but I would just pretend 3D pop doesn't exist like most of you morons. 12mm Tony-2, and then I would get the Olympus 25mm Tony 1.2 Prime. Dare you dream that right now. I think I like 50 as my longer one. 85's okay, but it's really annoying to have to be so far away and then you can't see any details. Am I in focus? Canon's stupid little tiny box that I can't see on the eye. Or zebras. That'd be a decent lens. And for telephoto, you think I'm getting that new Sigma replica? Give me a break. 300mm Tony 4 Prime. You're done. That'd be a decent little system. I could be happy with any of these. Happier than what I have now. When it comes to Nicky Boy. Pronounced Nikon, by the way, in America. Every time I say Nikon, it's pronounced Nikon. You're a Nikon elf. Go like build some raspberry bread or something. Like this is how Americans pronounce it. It's even officially said, but in America it's pronounced Nikon. Like Nike. We're morons. This is how we say it. It doesn't matter either. Stop wasting everyone's day. I would have to, forced at gunpoint, buy the ZF because the Z6 III not announced yet, is it? Why? Why is it taking so long? I don't know. That's the one I would rather have. So Z6 III on this list, but no. And we're switching it up a notch because Nikon doesn't really have a good wide angle like ultimate. Where's our 24mm 1.2? Yeah. No 1.4s, like it's pretty bad. So I would just forgo all that and get the 14 to 30 Tony 4. I think I would regret it immediately. Like for vlogging, be kind of cool. I would zoom it in a tiny touch to 16mm. And then I would put it down on a tripod and zoom into 30 and the compression would blow your socks off. But in here, that would be a nightmare. You know what I just noticed? When I stop down my lens and I use something like a Tony 4, I have to brighten that lantern up like crazy, and that's why it looks so terrible when I switch. I just did that comparison of the 35mm lenses, Sony to Canon, and for some reason, I need to brighten the Canon footage so much more to get the zebras to disappear on my face. So I don't know if it's my settings, but I brighten that light and then my entire background just becomes flat and disgusting. Why am I talking about any of that? Oh yeah, so if my zoom lens, Tony 4, I would have to brighten that thing up and then that would look like hell. So like, that's why you want brighter lenses, so you can lower your light. I might even lower the light up the ISO to 12,000 and just do that. I would also get the 40mm Tony 2 Nikon. I liked that lens. It was tiny, had some pop and character. What else? Like, would I want the Noct? Kind of. 50.95, alright. That or the 51.2, but we're just going vintage on the Nikon. And of course, without question, I get the 800mm Tony 6.3 Prime. There is no other lens worth using for squirrels, robins, fox, babies. That thing, could you even imagine using that? It's a bit heavy, it's a bit expensive. Definitely not worth my little nature walks, suburban nature walks of sparrows and shit, but that's the one I would get. When it comes to Sony, you disgust me, but I would get a ZVE1 and an A7S3, and make sure it didn't come with the latest firmware, or I would sell it to someone that I hated. ZV1 for the vlogging, E1, and then A7S3 is my wildlife thing. 200 to 600 is the only option for that, so that's stuck on my desk. And then all my little custom modes are designed for wildlife. And then the ZVE1 in here, these lenses, oh boy. I might regret this one too, but we're going with the Zeiss 16 to 35 24. It's stabilized. Dare you even dream it? There's just, I don't know, man. Like, I have the Badises, they're amazing, but for vlogging, very shaky. And I'm just thinking maybe the stabilized lens would be okay. It might not. Or even the Sony 16 to 35 24. I hate even thinking that. Zero 3D pop. Then I would debate between these two lenses. I just saw one, I'm so annoyed. The Zeiss 55mm 1.8. Can you get a better lens than that? You really can't. But I do want to try the Zeiss 50mm 1.4. It's a planar design. Sony autofocus. Boom. I just saw one on Amazon warehouse deal. They're like $1,400 plus tax in Canada. I saw it for $713, and I was like, that's getting lower and lower. It was like $9.90 and boom, 8 and 7. Oh my god, should I pounce? Some bozo pounced on it and we'll never get it. What did you need it for? Taking pictures of your cat. So now we'll never know. But the Zeiss 55 has like 7 elements, whereas this 50 has like 13 probably. I imagine the 55 is superior, but I'd like to know. Another Zeiss, it could still be good. Still could have the pop. T-star coatings. 1.4. Much heavier. I don't know, man. That'd be a debate. 200 to 600 we already mentioned. I have hundreds of dollars. I'm not wasting it on a Prime. 600 24 Prime. Go to school. When it comes to Canon, I don't know why, but I'm splurging for a Canon R5C for in here so we can get some raw, full frame. That's fun. And I would be getting the 15 to 35mm Tony 2.8. I swear every time I look at that footage in the past, I'm like, that has some 3D pop. I think they somehow have 3D pop in that RF lens. And I'm sticking to RF native stuff here. So I just, no EF adapting, no. We're just going full native. R5C for in here, and then the R5 for wildlife. That's still their best camera. Animal eye detect, 4K 120p, HD 120p. Go to hell. 50mm Tony 1.2 for this stuff. RF. That'd be so stupid, but I would have to do it. Big and expensive, stupid times $3,000, but I have hundreds more dollars where that came from. And on the Canon R5, I would go with the budget 800mm Tony 11. That's what they have right now. That's the best option in my opinion. That 200 to 800, I don't like the zooming like 5 times to get out and extending, and Tony 8. It's already, I don't know, man. A Prime 11, it's very simple to operate. You just point, boom. So it's fun to think about switching systems sometime, just playing the fairy tale game. Fantasy life, it's like, oh, grass is always greener on the other side, but then really, like, Canon full frame is hard to beat. Even this R8, it's like, are you really beating that for YouTube? Not really. If Fuji GFX ever gets a flippy screen video-centric camera, I could do it. I could see myself right in there. The 110mm Tony 2 Prime, that's their best pop lens for in here. And then like something wide, they have nothing for vlogging, but that'd be fun times. And a 500mm is coming at some point. That's not long enough, especially in medium format terms. So there's no point to getting anything. No, I wouldn't get a Blackmagic anything. There's no point. No flippy screens. I already have the OG. Nothing's gonna beat the OG. Be real with your life. And action cams, one day. DJI Action 4, boom. I think it's better than the Pocket 3 in a lot of ways. I get log in HD 240 at least. 10-bit. Canon 35mm lenses exist. And they're not as good as you'd think. Yeah, might sell that one. Definitely got to sell some stuff to make room. How you doing? You subscribing for more videos? See you next one.